Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today we are looking at Zoroark Lycanroc. It's been a while since we've looked at this deck, and it's been one that's been very popular throughout Zoroark's existence pretty much, and it's actually the deck that recently won the special event over in France in Tours by Hedy Brammy, and proving that it's still viable in the Forbidden Light meta. People have transferred over from Golisopod to Lycanroc a little bit more in this new metagame because Lycanroc can keep up with the pace of the new format, being more one-hit KO focused, whereas Golisopod really did indulge in going for the Acerola approach. That's much less viable now with more one-hit KO decks out there, so instead we're moving over to Lycanroc, adding some extra gusting to the deck as well to target down most important Pokemon around the board and being much more aggressive to have much shorter games, in all honesty, than the Zoropod players ever did. So let's have a look at this deck. It is a Zoroark one, so I'm always on board, but we'll talk about a few decisions. This isn't exactly Hedy's list. As always, I like to have my own spin on things, so let's have the breakdown. First of all, the 4-4 Zoroark line. We all know how good Zoroark is. It is weak to fighting, which many people thought would be a deterrent, pushing this down from tier 1 potentially. I am on board that Buzzwole is a big issue. Don't you worry about that. But I still feel Zoroark has a fighting chance. In my testing so far against Buzzwole, it's not been very negative. It's obviously not a great matchup that you can walk into not feeling super confident in, but I think we are playing both the Psychic Techs in this list and we're playing 9 Energy to help get our Lycanrocs going as quickly as possible. So in some matchups, yes, Zoroark is somewhat of a liability. You still get him out because trade is so valuable to you. But against other matchups that aren't Buzzwole or other fighting builds like Lucario, this guy is just absolutely absurd. Righteous Beating, still good 2-hit KO attack. We don't have the option for Trickster, but yeah, overall, still a really, really powerful card. And yeah, people still choosing to play it. I'm choosing to play 3 of the 70 hit point Rockruffs. I've made the standpoint that I just think 70 HP is better than what the 2 60 HP Rockruffs can offer. The corner one can give you weird win conditions or stalling options. The other 60 hit point Rockruff can KO opponents, Zoruas and stuff like that. But I feel like Zoroark's place in the meta has reduced. If not, it may not still, like, it's still probably at least tier 2, but people are playing other decks right now. So I think the kick, or tackle, I think it is, the tackle Rockruff, I think is less valuable. And in general, I like having 70 hit points. You can survive horn attacks from a Bulu, and you can survive energy drives, which is important because you want to plant an energy turn 1 onto your Rockruff if possible. It's the best place for it, in my opinion, especially if you go first. From there, 2 Lycanroc-GX with that Bloodthirsty Eyes ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, when you evolve, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with that active, so it's the Lysander effect in an ability, which is really awesome for you. Going to help us target the most important cards on your opponent's board, and it means that you can additionally use other draw support in the same turn. You can use an N and still potentially gust something up, and this is the main reason why Lycanroc is so potent. It's a fighting type himself, so it can give us somewhat of an edge against other Zoroark players, be it Zorogarb or other Zoroark variants out there, which is pretty cool. Obviously going to be an important card in the mirror match. And it offers 2 very powerful attacks. Dangerous Rogue is the GX attack that you do use quite often in this deck. It does 50 times the amount of your opponent's benched Pokemon, so this does get into one-hit KOs quite easily, especially with Choice Band and Strong Energy as well. Doesn't take much at all to get one-shots with this guy. And Claw Slash can do 110 for a fighting DCE, which isn't too bad either. Obviously great against opposing Zoroarks. 2-hit KOing just like the Zoroark would, but this can again push into one-hit KOs, especially against things like Tapu Lele. If you can do like a Bloodthirsty Eyes Kukui play with Strong Energy and Choice Band, you get there, which is nice. So it's a pretty neat card that fits into the deck really nicely. From there, I am playing one new card from Forbidden Light, and that's actually the Baby Buzzwole. I think he's just a really incredible card. I did originally have an Enhanced Hammer in here over this card, but E-Hammer wasn't performing very well for me, so I decided to put in another potential like mirror tech or really help out against other Zoroark players. Sledgehammer does 30 base, and if your opponent has exactly 4 prize cards remaining, it does 90 more damage, so 120 for 1 energy. Again, very efficient, fits the theme of the deck really. and this can be a great way for you to deal with opposing Zoroarks. Again, this can hit 170 on Lele's with the Choice Band and a Strong, so it's more ways that we can get one-hit KOs. Again, trying to accelerate the deck's win condition as quickly as possible, trying to keep up with these other one-hit KO variants. Buzzwole, I think, fits in very nicely, albeit it's a really good early game attacker. Sledgehammer, really good for dealing with Zoruas, just like other things would be. So, good early game aggression card against Mirror, and just overall good against Mirror, but more than that, he can be another Lele Slayer to add to the deck, which is also really nice for you for prize trade. From there, we have two Psychic Pokemon. We're going to play both. There used to be a debate of which one's better than the other, but basically fighting's at the point where you have to play both, really, I think, in your Zoroark variants. So, first of all, we're going to play the Mew-EX. Mew-EX, with this versatile, can use the attacks of any Pokemon in play, as long as you have the necessary energy. Again, this is a card that can copy the Buzzwole even, so we have multiple type coverages to get one-hit KOs on things. This allows us to one-hit KO things like Espeon-GX for 1 energy, if we're going for Rice Beating or Sledgehammer, and it's also obviously in here for Buzzwole more than anything else. There's also a handful of other Psychic Weak Pokemon like Naganadel GX and stuff like that, so do bear that in mind, but this is mainly in here to try and tackle Buzzwoles without them getting out of hand. In the same regard, we're going to play the Mewtwo Psychic, doing 20, plus 20 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active, so with that Choice Band we're going to get there, and that's really important to stop them running riot on our board. Finally, 3 copies of Tapu Lele-GX. Energy Drive, a decent option here, and we all know what Wonder Tag is good for. One final note on the Baby Buzz that I actually forgot to mention. A reason I'm playing this card again over the E-Hammer is that it's more versatile, and that it can actually be a card that can tackle Baby Hoopers, and especially because we've moved over to the other Rockruff, this is a nice little way to patch up that matchup, which otherwise would be pretty horrible for you. So this can get through Hoopers, and fingers crossed with the spam of Max Potion and puzzles, you can maybe beat your way through a few if you face a Quad Hooper deck. I don't think Quad Hooper's all that popular, but it's something to bear in mind, which I should mention. From there, onto the item cards, I'm always a fan of Rescue Stretcher. I think it's, again, really important when you're playing these Psychic techs to try and recycle them. Stretcher in the late game can be a Lele for game, or it can be a Lycanroc for game, or it can just make sure you have enough Zoroarks throughout the board. Buzzwole decks love hunting down those Zoruas, so having the extra Stretcher feels like a 5th Zorua a lot of the time, and that really helps us maintain our hand size, and that's what we need to win the game. So I've always been a fan of Stretcher in Zoroark decks, and I'm going to continue to champion that approach. One Max Potion, I've already mentioned how it can be nice against Quad Hooper with this guy, but basically I'm choosing Max Potion over Acerola because Acerola feels a little bit slow. Again, the meta's gone more towards one-hit KO, not fully though, so I am still playing one Max Pot over Acerola just for speed, really, more than anything else. It's an easier card that you can drop, and it's also much better in the early game than an Acerola would be. For example, when people do that attack the Zorua and put 30 on a bench Zorua, so the following turn they can Guzma a 3rd Zorua and take out 3 Zorua over 2 turns. You can now just drop that Max Potion, and it would be much more awkward for you to Acerola on like turn 2 or something like that. So much more immediate and much more useful, I think, as the Max Potion overall. From there, 3 copies of Field Blower. Everyone's playing Parallel. Zoroark decks, Espeon Garb, and even some Malamar builds of squeezing in 1 or 2 Parallels, so having high Field Blower count is going to be good. And there's just Garbodor in general. Once again, people are trying to play Espeon Garb to hit for weakness on Buzzwole and shut down Malamars. There's resurgences with like Gliscopod Garb and Zorro Garb as well, so having lots of Field Blower I think overall is just a good shout right now. From there, couple of Timables. You play Timable over Evo Soda in this list exactly because it's a viable option to get your Lycanroc, which then you can of course play from hand to get the effect of Bloodthirsty Eyes, which Evo Soda couldn't do for you. It's a bit annoying that your consistency card is a coin flip card, but think of it as like a 75% Pokemon catcher, and then it sounds a lot better for you, as well as being a means to get Zoroarks out. For Ultra Ball, obviously, we know what this is doing here. 1 copy of Parallel City. 1 is on the lower side. A lot of people go for 2. I think if you're expecting less Garbodor, you could possibly go down to 2 Blower and play 2 Parallel yourself to be a bit more aggressive once again in Mirror. But I think I've already established my Mirror tech as being the Sledgehammer Buzzwole, and I think it does the job. So I don't think I need 2 Parallel. It's also annoying for things like Malamar and such, but I think 1 copy plus puzzles, in my eyes, is going to be plenty. The supporter-wise, we're going to play 1 copy of Kukui. I mentioned how it can be really nice for your Claw Slash to deal with Lele's. It also means that even Riotous Beating with a Choice Band can hit Lele's as well, so 170 HP pokes aren't safe, and it can just help, once again, push numbers in general. Even further if you add on extra strong energies and stuff like that for your Lycanroc. So just an overall good card, and it draws cards on top of trade rather than shuffle draw, so it's additionally increasing your hand size overall. 1 copy of Mallow for those mad combos you can get with trade, of course. We're going to play 2 copies of Cynthia. I prefer playing 2 Cynthia over the 1-1 split with Sycamore, just because I don't really like discarding too many cards in this deck. Even with Puzzles and Stretcher, I normally prefer just to refresh the hand rather than dump through it. I think you can cycle enough with your Zoroarks in the first place to just play 2 Cynthias overall. And then the 3 ofs of the important stuff. Brigette, going to get us our basics down, of course. Then we're going to play 3 copies of N for some shuffle draw and disruption on the opponent's side, while we can trade our way back up to a big hand size. And 3 copies of Guzma for extra gusting on top of the Lycanrocs. With puzzles, that's plenty. We can oftentimes target down the most important attackers on our opponent's board. Finally, we're going to play 2 copies of Choice Band. It's obviously very important on your Lycanroc a lot of the time, so it can do more than just a dangerous rogue. It can then move into Claw Slash, getting more knockouts, which is important. Also really important on your Mewtwo. And 1 copy of Float Stone for some freedom of movement. Nothing has free retreat in the deck, so having 1 float allows us to do more cute plays with Guzma and such, so that's pretty nice. I think there's potential for this to go up to 2, actually. But again, space is tight, as always, with your Zoroark decks. Finally, we're going to play 9 energy total, 3 of them being strong energies. I like strong because it's going to make Sledgehammer get to 170 with the Choice Band, and it pushes Claw Slash to, again, with Kukui, get you there, which is nice, and stuff like that. So, personally, I like playing the 3-2 split. I know Heady played 3-2 the other way around, but I think with the addition of this Buzzwole, it makes more sense to play 3 strongs. The potential downside is that you can't pay retreat out of things as easily as if you were going to play 3 basic fighting. And again, it goes back to me wanting to play potentially another Float Stone to make up for that. But overall, I think this is a reasonable split. Also, this, of course, gets around opponents' E-Hammers and even Kartana popping up in certain decks right now. Some Ultra Beast style decks if they're playing a Ganadel. And even some Zorogarbs are playing it as well. Don't ask me why, but they are. And yeah, basic energy are important in this deck. That's why we're only playing 3 and not 4 strong, I guess. But you could consider going even further towards the basic fighting route if you're concerned about special energy removal. And we'll round it out with 4 DCE. We all know why this is here. The Zoroark, the Lycanroc, our psychic dudes, everything runs off of DCE, as you all know. So let's look at some other options that we can be playing in this list. Pokemon-wise, I think really it's Rockruff that we're going to have the biggest debate with. I said earlier, we don't really need to tackle Rockruff much unless Zoroark does maintain itself to be, you know, top tier rather than top of tier 2. You can go back to the tackle Rockruff if you want to be aggressive on Zoruas, and you can play the corner Rockruff if it's won you random games here and there, but overall I prefer 70 hit points just as a standalone. This is better than that. But yeah, that's up to you. If you want to get cute with Rockruffs, by all means do it. Yeah, that's it really for Pokemon. I think the only other thing I would debate is maybe something like we've seen before, like Oranguru, the Resource Management Guru. I think the format's pretty speedy right now. I think Mill does have a hard time with all the Malamars, and I think that can keep us from needing Guru in our list, and I'm very happy with that. Also, we now have the Baby Buzzwole to help out against Hooper exactly, so that should be some help towards winning the Mill matchups, which is, you know, better than nothing, I guess. Enhanced Hammer is probably the biggest card that's not in my list. Again, I've decided that I like Baby Buzzwole being my sort of quote-unquote mirror tech. E-Hammer is somewhat valuable against Buzzwole and Lycanroc, but also I found now that they have Beast Ring, they just have even more energy acceleration, that really it's all about the race, and oftentimes the 1 energy swing here or there is a lot less valuable than it used to be. And when you're only playing one copy, I know it's one of those things, but especially against Buzzwole, because they take away your trade a lot of the time, or they limit how many Zoroarks you can get down to maybe like 2 at best. I think digging hard to try and find that 1 E-Hammer is oftentimes difficult. I think if I really wanted to play E-Hammer, I'd play 2, but I don't want the space for 2, so I'm not going to play 1. It's weird logic, but that's why I'm not playing E-Hammer. As I mentioned earlier, I'm playing the Baby Buzzwole over it instead at the moment. I've also talked about Acerola. It of course preserves your energy, which is one thing, but I think it's a little bit slow in this meta. More one-hit KO based with Ultra Necrozma and Buzzwole, of course. So I'm preferring to play the Max Potion instead. And the last supporter card that I would give credit to is Sycamore, of course. Not playing it right now, choosing to play Cynthia over it just because I don't really like discarding much other than trading. So yeah, that's why I don't play Sycamore, but you guys definitely can. It's up to you, really. We do want to save changes. Hold on. Ooh, what changes have I made? I can't remember. We'll just save it to be safe. And get into some games. I do like ZoroRoc. I used to be the Zoropod fanboy, but I understand that the format has moved on from the times of just Acerola looping and 2-hit KOing stuff. Now it's more about trying to respond on people's big attackers, and it's much quicker format, really. So the need for ZoroRoc has arisen, and if ever there's Zoroark, I'll try and play it. So this might be the deck going forward that I end up playing for recent tournaments. Who knows? I've been out of action a little bit because of my knee, but Sheffield is scarily close, actually. It's not so far away anymore, so we've got to start getting testing, boys. And this will be the first along the way. Oh, top deck powers activated. That is a dream. From nothing to something. We do have both our psychic techs. I'm just going to bridge it out 3 Zoruas here. I'm going to attach the active as well, hoping that it's difficult for the opponent to get Float Stone plus Strong Energy on a Buzzwole. If they do, I'm very sad. I think it's more likely that they do like Guzma plays, though. I think you got to try and be brave against Buzzwole players. They're going to start off with an Ultra Ball here. Even 70 HP Rockruffs aren't safe in the new age of Buzzwole, unfortunately. They're discarding a Sudowoodo, which is actually pretty good for us early days. My cat's enjoying a stroking. Ugh. Oh no, not Float Stone. Guzma, please. Okay. So we can actually attack the Buzzwole at least. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I'm going to try and attack the Buzzwole. We can attack it with Lele and guarantee it. Hit it for 90. Yeah, that's probably best. Parallel not doing much in this spot. I think I'll dump it over the Guzma here with trade. Oh, my cat's going up for mischief. I guess I'll give you back my face for now. Don't really want to give them more cards. Getting another Rockruff down is fine, though. Yeah, we'll just go for the energy drive. See how good their hand is. The cat's cheering me on today. Okay, turns out they did have Cynthia and another Buzzwole. Looks like their top deck. Got themselves Ultra Ball. Grabbing Remoraid as you'd expect. So potentially this isn't a Buzzrock. This could just be a straight, like a turbo Buzzwole. Angry face. Yeah, that choice band shouldn't go there, friend. Not surprised they're angry. Okay. We do get smacked about a little bit. Top decking the Lycanroc doesn't change much. Because they Ultra Balled out a Remoraid, you gotta think they've got the Octillery and another supporter in their hand. Don't feel great about this end, but I think we do need to cycle. I can't let this Zorua just chill. We do really need to hit an energy. So I'm going to Ultra Ball pre-trade, even though we're more likely to hit a Zoro. Like, yeah, we need an energy. Don't really enjoy getting rid of Guzma, but I guess we can do it. We have 2 Rockruffs on our board, so gusting shouldn't be the issue here. Stretcher. It's an interesting card. Not quite interesting enough. Energy the Dream? No energy cards. That is a feels bad man right there. Just thinking if it's ever worth us putting some preliminary damage on the other Buzzwole here. I think it might be just because they've already committed another Choice Band elsewhere. Oh, never mind. Oh, God. Okay. Sure. Let's go for that then. I was saying it's not bad putting 60 on this guy. Oh, sorry, 70 on this guy. 70 puts it into range of other attacks. Oh, it is a Lycanroc build, as you can see. Here comes Octillery. They haven't had an attachment yet. Obviously fearful of them attaching to Rockruff. There's Baby Buzz. That's what we're going to Brooklet Hill out next turn, I think. Float Stone, sure. Did they miss attachment? No, they have an attachment. That's scary. Very scary. Man, we missed so much from our Cynthia trade. Even a Field Blower could have been really big. Well, I guess not, but... Where do I want to plant this Float Stone? On a Zoroark, probably. Energy next card. Ah, game. You know how to treat me well, don't you? Don't think I want to play this DCE. I'd rather find other energy cards. May not be given the choice, though. Well, okay. Now, there's a lot of benefit for us not taking this 2 prizes this turn. Downside is Guzmaing this with this still takes 2 prizes for him. I'm trying to get around B-String as best I can here. I think we're going to try and take a fairly long route to win the game, which doesn't sound great, but it's what we're going for here. Don't really like the feel of this. I feel like us missing that energy earlier on was basically our window to win the game, tempo-wise. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, they do have Guzma. Feels bad. We weren't able to establish puzzles for our max pot. Energy on another Rockruff, sure. They're probably going to put 30 here. Oh, 30 there. Okay. So I probably want to N Lycanroc this. It's probably our only way to win at this point. Too late for Mallow. Oh, nice. Again, we're going the long route to success here. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Just means it's difficult. We do need the help of N here. Big time. The Field Blower's going to make their decision a lot harder. Is there anything that I don't want them to pull out? Does the Choice Band change much maths here? Yeah, I might spend both Field Blowers here. I think I will. Don't really want to give them, like, feed them into another Remoraid and then I'm back in the spot where I may be tempted to try and deal with it. We'll see how effective this N was. And right there, that combo of Lycanroc N is one of the reasons why this deck is enjoyed by some people. Yep, there's that Remoraid. And the Jet Punch coming in. Alrighty, let's use trade. Puzzles. Puzzles. Max Potion looks good. I could add again if I want to, just to add more randomness. We definitely grab Max Potion, that's for certain. Parallel, I'm not a huge fan of grabbing. It might just be the Float Stone here. So I can Guzma for game. And let's see if they can top deck one time, or if their hand is artillery. We could have paralleled ourselves. We should have paralleled ourselves. Instead of this Float Stone. Actually, we couldn't retreat. Yeah, we did need the Float Stone. I don't know, I'm just stressing out at this point. Super Rod doesn't feel threatening unless they're getting back. No, Super Rod doesn't feel threatening. Sycamore does, though. Why would they Super Rod in those bad cards? They need those cards. Or, I mean, they don't want those cards. They drew the 2 fire energies and then ultra them away. Ah, Ripperino. Oh, we were close, man. We were close. They were, they had a virtuous end to 1. Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, we did all we could and they just had it. The Brooklet Remoraid into artillery from a 1-card hand. Sure, you could take those small percentage points, I guess. If you really wanna. We almost got there. There was debate to us paralleling though. But if they find the Lycanroc, they always deal with the Zoroark anyway. Yeah, if they find the... No, there's no reason to parallel. Okay. Let's try a new game. Awkward starting hand. Professor Kukui isn't exactly the supporter you're after. But it's the turn 1 supporter we got. Very good. Well, we can still threaten the Lycanroc. So. Sounds like this, where you're happy you play Cynthias and not Sycamores. They can turn 1 KO us if they get lucky. Doesn't look like their hand is fabulous though. What do they need? They need Float Stone, Buzzwole, Diancie, Strong. Elixiring to the Lele. Oh, whiffing anyway. Floatstone Strong? Is this real life? No, it's not real life. It's just fantasy. Okay, let's get another one of these down. We have prized 2 Zoruas, which is going to make life very difficult for us. I want to race this man. So let's go for the GX this turn. Plonk this down. Do I want him getting an Insta Buzzwole straight out from this, or can I get more value? I think I want to play this card. Stop him getting the Insta Buzz, just in case he has like B-String in his hand. Feels weird spending a 1-hit KO on a 0 energy attacker, but we now have the Mew back up. And a Mewtwo taken from prizes. Choice banding their bench and going for another aggro Sycamore. Ah, got rid of a B-String. Ah, get rid of that Brooklet real quick. Wizardry. Wizardry from us right there. Man, they could have done crazy things. They even had E-Switch. Double Sushi Master does make life pretty tricky for us, though, going forward. They can still do things here. They can attach Lycanroc and find themselves a float. Oh, Lord. 2 artillery draws to try and find the pieces. There's the... Oh, it's an Ultra Ball as well. It's so much better for them to be an Ultra Ball than just a physical float or Lycanroc. They've got to go for it, right? We're about to be very sad if this 3 cards gives them a float. Oh, okay. They're not backing themselves? It's much better for this Mew to go down than my Lycanroc. Much better. Having an elixir for their Mew. That also whiffs. They've been a little unlucky there. Okay. So we're going to keep on the old gusting hype. Bring up his Lycanroc and try and 2-shot it. With our psychic stuff waiting in the wings, he really has to be careful about ever planting a Buzzwole. So us just going heavy Lycanroc route should be beneficial to us. Even though we feed him the GX attack on us. And we're pretty all in on our one Zoroark at this point, but again, it's the tempo game that we're trying to keep up on here. Man, they've got such a better draw engine than us, and we're a Zoroark deck. Can't believe this is happening. More Sycamores. They've just chained Sycamores all game. Dumping everything. Finally, Elixir hits for them. Dangerous rogue. You know, in this spot, it's actually best for us to attack with the Zoroark if we can attack. Obviously, if we whiff the attack, we don't want the Zoroark active. We may have to pay retreat on this Rockruff. Oh man, it feels weird. Okay. That's a draw. Will I put this Mewtwo down? I think I will, just to check his Mew, his baby Mew. it means we can only get one Zoroark out this game, but I think that's fine. It's in this spot where you want to have a Sycamore. Actually, if we didn't bench this Mewtwo, we could have grabbed Mallow here. That's an oversight. We could have just... Yeah, we could have secured game if I had held this Mewtwo here. Almost certainly game anyway. Uh-oh. Well, it's a worthy punish, I guess. Yeah, it's a worthy punish. Got to try and protect Lycanroc. I think we're still ahead here, even with a big error like that. Not happy with that. I shouldn't have been worried about checking that Mew, because any, like even Lele's KO it. The Mallow was definitely correct there. Obviously. The Mew can copy the Diancie attack and Guzma BUS, but no, it's just a 4th Sycamore. They have 3 cards in deck. Oh, they have no Guzmas left. Man, they have just been ham on discarding cards. Absolutely ham. Energy Drive or something like that. Diamond Rain. Letting it rain. Okay, well, we weren't super punished. Well, like, obviously we were punished, but we still win this game, I think, every time. Do I want to heal the Lycanroc is the question. If I max pot the Lycanroc, we can't KO a Lele for game. I mean, if we just KO this Lele, what do they? This Mew, what do they do? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 energy's gone. So it's always this. I'm just thinking if it's ever this. Maybe just attack actives, right? What attack can they come out with? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, they can kill this with a Buzz, but if they do that, we just have Mew for game. Yeah, okay. Not for game, but it's the last threat. This has been such a weird game. I guess they still have Beast Ring. Maybe I should have got out of Beast Ring range. Probably should have. They don't have any energies left. What am I saying? Yeah. Do they have any Choice Bands left? They should have a Choice Band left. Maybe they're digging. What a bizarre game this is. So we don't care about these cards, obviously. N for our own recycle. What am I trying to achieve this turn? KO this Buzzwole is what I really want to happen. N doesn't give us a huge amount of cards. Let's trade first. Oh, they conceded. That was such a weird game, and I threw, and we still won. At least we have ourselves beating a fighting deck. The matchup doesn't go like that very often. But yeah, let's get one more game in. I've been playing weird. Let's blame it on the painkillers, shall we? Oh dear. Holding our own against Buzzwole, though, is a good thing to demonstrate, I guess. Like, we have that game on lockdown if I Mallowed instead of Cynthia'd. Aqua Patches. Could this be Aqua Box? It is Aqua Box. Aqua Box is definitely an up-and-coming deck. I think a lot of people have noticed the power of Aqua Box recently, in that it plays similar to Buzzwole with its energy acceleration. 190 is oftentimes enough hit points to KO stuff. You have the Volk Prism to get things like Zoroark down from 210 into 190 range, so it's almost like you're playing a Buzzwole deck but blue instead of brown, and a lot less people are playing grass Pokemon than they are psychic ones, so don't think we need the Float Stone. I like Max Potion because obviously he's going to set up one of these. He plays Wishy Washy. That's interesting. Prizing Kukui is a little bit annoying because the 160 hit points. Attaching energy this turn. Let's think about the values of it. Because they're just an attachment Guzma away from just getting rid of anything right now. The benefits obviously is attaching to the Rockruff and getting away with it, but I don't see it happening too often. 12, 14. Yeah, if we hadn't prized Kukui, there'd be a debate to attaching it to the Lele. No, there's no reason to attach. No reason. Let's see if they will go for this attach Guzma route. The fact they manual to the Volk means they probably will be. Although this is playing Wishy Washy, so it may not even play Manaphy, it may be Float Stone. There is the Guzma. Taking out Rockruff, that's reasonable. Getting themselves 4 draws. Let's see if they can get anything onto the Lapras this turn. Well, they can Brooklet Hill, which is nice for them. Nice for us as well, actually. Okay. Tyball hasn't covered itself in glory today. Let's give them a decision. Mewtwo doesn't sound great when they've already taken 1 prize. So let's hope they can't accelerate a bunch of energy this turn for the Lapras to take a KO. The only benefit right now is that there's no waters in their discard pile. And they don't have anything like a Float Stone at the moment or a Manaphy. But Aquabox is very good at getting lots of energy cards, as we're seeing right here. Is this where Manaphy comes down? There's some intimidating Lapras. There's the Manaphy. Okay. Whoa, they've commit 3 of their choice bands. That's wild. That's really wild. Potential window of opportunity for us there. Missing the elixir means they need to E-switch. Oh no, they hit the elixir, sorry. They're just setting up the Lapras now. Trying to think if we're just gonna Mallow this turn. I think we are just gonna Mallow. We're probably gonna just go Field Blower, DCE. Yeah. Sounds reasonable. I just want to thin the deck at this point and have options for the Lycanrocs to come down. It's a little worrisome that we're going fairly all in on this hand. But I mean, we have the N and we won't be taking prizes this turn anyway, so... Hopefully the main advantage we have right now is that they've commit all these choice bands. That's the only inkling of hope right now. To be fair though, if Baby Volk takes another single prize this turn, it's going to be bad for us. Ultra balling, maybe just lowering the hand size for artillery, maybe just discarding water energy. Nah, looks like they're lowering the hand size. So they really want to take the single prize this turn, so we've got to go into the Lele and hope they don't get a choice band. If they've taken the Joe list, which they haven't because they're playing this, they're playing 4 choice bands. But if not, we have a chance. If they don't play 4 choice band, it's good for us. Stretcher, they are playing some cards that I do not play. That's for certain. They could have, I don't know. What does this do again? Does it have to be active? No, he could have stretched just the Lele, used this, Lele get Guzma attack with... I don't know what's going on. We're still very behind though. Nah, they drew Guzma anyway. Feels good. Oh, now they're doing it. They can Brook Hill out a Lapras if they want to. Oh. Huh? Okay. Alrighty then. Let's continue to thin the deck as best we can. I think attaching to one of these is fine. We want to get the fabled N Lycanroc combo. Uh-oh. No, we do hit Ultra Ball. Oops. That would be a little bit greedy. Man, I want all these cards in my hand. Am I trading a puzzle right now? I think I am. Don't think we'll have the luxury to end next turn, unless we can combo it with the Lycanroc again. Alright, let's see. They still have all their Aqua Patches, I think. At least a high amount. Yeah, they have all their aqua patches. And don't forget that wishy-washy. Oh, this is scary. Brooklet Hill. Field Blower. Looks like they're just lowering their hand size for Octo. So they can get a Guzma. No. So now they're trying to hit Aqua Patch plus Choice Band. There's an Aqua Patch. More Aqua Patches. This is expected. They had them all at the bottom of the deck. They still have up to the redraw. I don't know, they might be going for GX attack here. Oh, they're going to bring out Volk again. They have played 3 Guzmas, so I think we got to hope they only play 3. Too stressful, man. Too stressful. Well, there is Max Potion. We can't end though. Man, I should not have got rid of that N. I mean, they have an artillery anyway, but... we gotta hope they only play 3 Guzmas. So we can carry the Manaphy, tank, and then GX for game. It's all very speculative and hopeful. We'll see. We'll see if they play 4 Guzmas. It's basically all we're hoping to find out. The fact that they play a Wishy-Washy and a Rescue Stretcher might mean that they don't. Well, they play 4 Choice Bands, so we've dodged that for the time being. Let's see if they play 4 Guzmas also. Here comes the little Wishy-Washy. Are they just GXing us? Oh, they can Lele for game? If they play 4? No. Dodging bullets on the daily. Good thing I know Aquabox lists so well. That was pretty lucky, huh? Man, we got the good rub of the green there, I think, to win that game. Whew, scary times, though. So there you go, 3 games of ZoroRoc. Lost to a Buzz by low rolling, I would say, on my end. Beat a Buzz in a really weird circumstance and me misplaying, which is always fun to watch. And then us getting the good end of the stick against a Aquabox right at the end there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this list, and Any other archetypes you want to see from Forbidden Light? We're obviously testing lots now in the build up to Sheffield. Let me know down below everything, all that good stuff, and see you guys in another video soon. Cheers.